Have you ever felt like you're playing a part in your own life? Like you have a different version of yourself for your friends, another for your family, and yet another for your colleagues at work? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. It's a feeling many of us share, this sense that we're wearing a kind of mask. Today, we're going to talk about these masks. Not the ones we wear on our faces, but the invisible psychological masks we put on every single day. We'll explore why we wear them, what some of the most common ones look like, and what happens when they start to feel a little too heavy. Most importantly, we'll talk about the person underneath. So, why do we create these masks in the first place? It often starts when we are very young. As children, we are incredibly attuned to the world around us. We quickly learn what behaviors get us praise, love, and acceptance, and which ones lead to disapproval or disappointment. Maybe we learned that crying made our parents uncomfortable, so we learned to hide our sadness. Perhaps we got praise for getting good grades, so we learned to always appear smart and capable. These early experiences shape a set of unwritten rules in our minds about how we should be to stay safe, to be loved, and to belong. The mask is a survival tool. It's a strategy we develop to navigate the complex social world we live in. It protects our soft, vulnerable true self from potential judgment, rejection, or hurt. It's not something we do to be fake or dishonest. It's a deep, often unconscious attempt to protect ourselves. Let's look at some of the most common masks we wear. One of the most widespread is what we can call the competent self. This is the mask of being completely on top of everything. The person wearing this mask always appears organized, efficient, and successful. They're the one who never misses a deadline, whose house is always tidy, and who seems to juggle a dozen tasks without breaking a sweat. On the outside, they look like they have it all figured out. But behind this mask, the reality can be very different. The person wearing the competent self mask might be constantly worried about failing. They might stay up late at night, rechecking their work over and over, terrified of making a single mistake. They may avoid asking for help because they believe it would expose them as an imposter, as someone who isn't actually as capable as they seem. For example, think of a manager who projects an image of unshakable confidence, but secretly feels overwhelmed by the responsibilities and is afraid to admit they don't have all the answers. The fear isn't just about the task itself, but about their entire identity crumbling if they're seen as anything less than perfect. Another very common mask is the likable self. This is the mask of the people pleaser, the social chameleon. Someone wearing this mask is incredibly agreeable. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny, say yes to requests they want to say no to, and constantly change their opinions to match the people they're with. Their main goal is to be liked by everyone and to avoid conflict at all costs. They want to be seen as easygoing, fun, and kind. Underneath this mask, however, is often a person who feels invisible. Their own needs, feelings, and desires get pushed down so far that they might not even know what they truly want anymore. They might feel a quiet resentment building up, or a deep sense of loneliness because no one knows the real them. Imagine a friend who always says, "I don't mind. Whatever you want to do is fine with me." While it seems easy and flexible, they may be silencing their own preference for a quiet night in because they fear their friends will find them boring. They sacrifice their own happiness for the sake of harmony, but this harmony is fragile because it's not based on genuine connection. Then there's the strong self. This is the mask of stoicism and independence. The person wearing this mask never shows vulnerability. They insist, "I'm fine," even when they're clearly struggling. They handle every crisis on their own and rarely, if ever, admit they need support. They believe that showing emotion is a sign of weakness and that relying on others is a burden. They are the tough friend, the resilient family member, the one who always seems to have it together, no matter what life throws at them. Behind this mask of strength is often a person carrying a very heavy load. They might be dealing with immense sadness, anxiety, or pain, but feel completely alone with it. They learned somewhere along the way that it's not safe to be vulnerable. Maybe they were told to toughen up as a child, or they saw others being judged for showing their feelings. Think of someone going through a difficult breakup, but telling everyone they're redoing great and better off. They go to work, they see friends, but they go home and face their grief in complete isolation, because the strong self-mask forbids them from reaching out and saying, "I'm hurting. I need a friend." Masks are designed to be strong, but they aren't unbreakable. There are moments when they crack. This can happen during a major life crisis, a job loss, a health scare, or the end of a relationship. When our usual routines are shattered, the energy it takes to maintain the mask can become too much. The competent self might suddenly miss a huge deadline. The likable self might have an outburst of anger. The strong self might break down in tears. These moments can be terrifying. It feels like a complete loss of control. It feels like exposure. But these cracks are not just moments of breakdown. They are also moments of breakthrough. A crack in the mask is an opportunity. It's a sign that our true self is trying to come through. It is an invitation to look at what we've been hiding and to ask ourselves if this mask is still serving us. It's the first painful but necessary step towards living a more authentic life. So, how do we begin living beyond the mask? It's not about throwing it away all at once. That would be too scary and might leave us feeling completely exposed. Instead, it's about gently and safely starting to reveal our authentic self. The key is to start small and to start with people you trust. Maybe you're wearing the likable self mask. Try a small experiment. The next time a friend asks where you want to eat, instead of saying, "I don't care," state a gentle preference. Just say, "I'm actually in the mood for Italian tonight. How does that sound?" Notice what happens. Most likely, your friend will be perfectly fine with it. You've just taken a tiny step in honoring your own needs. If you wear the competent self-mask, try asking for help with a small, low-stakes task. Maybe ask a coworker to look over an email before you send it. By saying, "Could you give this a quick read?" A second pair of eyes would be great. You are practicing vulnerability in a safe way. You are learning that it is okay not to be perfect, and that people are often happy to help. And for those wearing the strong self-mask, try sharing a small, genuine feeling with a trusted loved one. You don't have to share your deepest pain. You could simply say, "I'm feeling a bit tired today," or "I'm feeling a little stressed about work." You are allowing someone to see a little crack in the armor, and in doing so, you are inviting real connection. These small acts build trust in others, and more importantly, trust in yourself. So, what is the truth about our masks? The truth is, they are not our enemies. They were born from a need to protect ourselves, to survive in a world that can sometimes feel harsh and judgmental. They are a testament to our resilience. But they are not who we are. Who we are is the person underneath, the one who feels deeply, who has unique desires, who needs help sometimes, who makes mistakes, and who is beautifully imperfect. Getting to know this person is one of the most important journeys we can take. It's a quiet, slow process of letting the light in through the cracks. It's about realizing that our true, unmasked self is not a liability to be hidden, but a gift to be shared. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. Remember to be kind to yourself on this journey. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.